Okay, everyone. So we are starting with revision. Can anyone tell me what was like? What was the discussion last time?
Client server
Client server.
program was done.
Program was done. Okay, so can anyone elaborate what was there? The program.
I mean, we were writing the program in the side of server.
We write a
and
new
just we are
program.
finding that in client.
Okay. So can anyone tell me what is in data input stream? Quickly, guys.
Taking input.
Which method we have used? Which method we have used? Stream data input method. Read UTF and write UTF, two methods we discussed, right? Okay, so that was the discussion last day. We talk about what is server, what is client. We discuss in the terms of Java, how we can go with that, right? What are the possible ways to make a client server program? What are the basic steps? Okay, along with that, we discussed that server is all-time running program, and that's why server will have one method which is accept, and this accept method is running only in the server side, right? And it is used to accept connection coming client. So this was the few discussions we had yesterday, right? We understood what is UTF and what is read UTF and write UTF function, which are available in input stream and output stream, right? And we think about how we can go with the
And your voice is
client
lagging.
server program. Now, I have one question over here.
Ma'am, your voice is lagging.
Ma'am, your
Yeah,
voice
we
is
are
lagging.
not
Ma'am,
able
your
to
voice
hear.
is
will be
breaking.
there in your
अभी सुनते ही सुनते नहीं स्मिता ये
application. What this application will do? How we develop application?
Ma'am, are you speaking?
Is it audible?
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
No, ma'am, not audible from previous slide.
Now,
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah, it's fine now.
now okay, man.
Okay, okay. I'm asking, like, are you facing this in all the subject on the side?
No,
Who
ma'am.
else is speaking?
No, ma'am, only.
Are you facing this in all the subject
No,
or
ma'am. Only this subject. Only in this subject, man.
Saying something?
Voice is not coming.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Voice speaking.
Still lagging.
Fine. So I'm so sorry, guys, but I don't know why it is creating problem. I hope it won't be the case now. Don't worry if you are feeling like something has gone and I have not studied. So don't worry. I'm going to repeat everything. We will not miss a single thing. So don't worry about that. Okay. So I was talking about networking application. Is my voice loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my
Yes,
screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then I guess we are on the fair pace. Fine. So don't worry, nothing will go away, and I'll just repeat whatever you want me to repeat. Fine. So I was telling you that last session we discussed about networking program, where we said a client and server will have socket at both the end, and we said with the help of input stream and output stream communication happens, right? And to go ahead with the communication between using this program, we use data input streams object and data output stream object, and with the help of that we use read and write operation. So the highlighted part, which is in yellow color, it's a loop. Until the communication is happening, we are going with that, right? Along with that, we have seen a small program of eco server, where we created a one-way application where user has sent us read and server has read it and it has displayed on the screen. Now I'm asking you, can you think about login application? What probably login application will do? Probably what will be there in the login application? Anyone? Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I
Yes, ma'am.
audible? Okay. Think about login application. We are just thinking a scenario. Authentication provides that, fine, but I'm asking in the terms of data input stream, data output stream, socket, and server socket, and all such things. So when you're going about application, basically your login application will also have, if you are implementing through simple Java networking, okay, I'm talking about simple Java networking, then we'll have client end, right? So we'll create a file client.java and we'll create a file server .java. What next? What next? Here we'll create a socket which is talking to the server. So here we'll give IP of server, right? As well, we'll provide some port number, right? Now, at the server side, you need to create server socket object. Fine, fine. And over here, you are going to use this server socket and socket for the particular port number, right? Which we have seen last time. Now, server side will have one method which is accept, because server has to accept the request. So this scenario we were talking yesterday in the PPT, and somebody said that I got a message that someone has not understood, so that's why I'm repeating. So I'm talking about this scenario. Same, you can see we have socket object we created socket server socket and socket object at server side, and we have accept method, right? Now with the help of socket object, client will be connected to server. So this is programming scenario. Fine. Now what user has to do? User has to write data to the network, right? So it will go out, and that's why we are going to use output stream, data output stream. We'll create an object, right? And we'll get the handle. So we'll say new data in output stream, right? We'll get the handle to the socket. So with the if socket object is created as S, I have to use that object to get the handle, right? So what I'll say is I'll say S dot get output stream. When I'm saying this, it will work on a particular port number. Fine. Now, as I have D out, directly I can write D out dot write UTF, right? And here you can pass any string. Right? So this is what we did yesterday. And then we close the socket, we close the data output stream. Right? So we wrote D out dot close, we wrote D out dot S dot close. Fine? Right? This is one-way communication. Client is just sending. Now what will happen at the server side? Server.java program will create server socket, as well it has to create the socket. On the socket, it will accept the connection. Now it has to read, so we will use read UTF method. To use the read UTF method, we require data input stream. So entire line same over here, except the difference that we'll use data input stream. We'll give some object D in equal to new data input stream, and we'll say socket dot get input stream. And finally, we use D in dot read UTF. And you can print it on the server screen by writing system.out.println. Up till now, is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, we'll do one thing right now. This is the scenario which we have discussed. So usually when we say Java, we can go with the connection oriented and connection less scenario. When you want to go with this connection oriented scenario, you can use socket and server socket class, right? Yeah, Viraj, mute yourself. So what we'll have is, we will have server and socket server classes. In the connection oriented socket programming, we should go with these two classes. But suppose you want to implement UDP. So if you want to implement UDP, you are having two different classes, which is datagram socket and datagram packet. Fine. These are the two Java classes which are available in java.net package. Now, we are going to do one thing. First, as we said that client programming always network programming happens over the socket, and that's why sometimes people call it as a socket programming, right? So we need IP address of the server and the port number, right? In the client side, we need these two information because we have to contact as a client to the server. So we required IP address of server and we required port number. That's what we did yesterday also over here, right? And usually we are working on our laptop. So when you are working in your laptop, our system is known as the host name localhost. When you say localhost, you are talking about your own system, which is having the IP address 127.0.0.1. Right? This is the IP address. So if you want to use IP, that's fine. You can write 127.0.0.1. Otherwise, you can write localhost. Both are same. Both are same thing. Okay. Now, suppose you want to go with the connection oriented scenario. In that case, you will use the socket class at the client and server both the end. So socket is usually and end point of the communication between two systems. This is what we defined yesterday, right? Day before yesterday. So if you want to create a socket, you should use socket class and you will create the object of it, right? And these are the few methods which we will deal with: get input stream, get output stream, and close, right? Now, get input stream method of socket class. What I'm saying is get input stream is the method of socket class, and it is returning the input stream object. As it is returning the input stream object, I have to assign it to some input stream object. So that's why yesterday we created something like this. We had output stream. We wrote the object name, and s dot get output stream was returning an object. Fine. So get input stream and get output stream itself will return an object which we can use to create an handle, or we can attach it to a socket. Along with that, it has one more method which is close. Usually it closes the socket. Closing the socket is always good from the security point of view. If you are not closing, that's fine. But in order to have the synchronization, in order to make that port free, once the task is done, we should close the socket. So next time when other request is coming on the same port, they can use it, because now your port is no more open. As it is not open, it can be reinitialized to have the new communication. Fine. So it is always better to close the socket. Even it's not compulsory. If you are not closing, it won't give error in your program. Up till now, is it clear?
Yes,
Up till
yes.
now, is it clear?
Clear,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now we are going ahead and talking about server socket class. As I said, like socket class is available both the end, because it is endpoint of communication and it is used to create data input stream and data output stream objects method. Read and write method we can use with the help of socket. So that's why in two-way communication we required socket class at both the end. But when I say server socket class, it will be only created at server side, because it is used to create a server socket, right? And this is the object which is responsible to establish a communication between with the clients. And that's why we will use certain methods which are available in server socket. Now there's one method which is different, which is accept. This accept method is usually accepting the connection, right? So what it will do is it will return you an object of socket. It is returning you the object of socket. So what does it mean? It means that when you are creating an socket object, right, you have to assign it. You have to assign. You will do like this, ss.accept. Why? Why? Because we said server socket. Server socket is at the server side. Fine. Now to have the communication, we have to assign or we have to accept the connection, right? So for that, the assignment will be done or it will be accepted over the socket, right? So accept is the only method which is accepting the connection and it returns an socket object. So usually we'll use it to accept the client side request coming to our data input stream object. And finally, we have close method, same as the close method of a socket class, but this will close the server socket. Right? So last day we have seen echo server. Today we'll see one more example of add or simple mathematical addition we are going to do. So can anyone explain the classes and objects required? What will be there at the client side? Right? One by one, we will discuss what will be there at the server side. We are going to perform addition of two numbers, of two integers, right? So what will be the situation? Client will give input. Through the network, it will reach to server. Server will process it. It will generate the output and it will write back. So right now we are going to talk about two-way communication. So both sides will need input stream and output stream objects. So can you explain other classes? Client side, which class? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, client side, which class?
Data output and data input.
First, we'll create the socket always because socket is the endpoint of communication. Once the socket is created, we will ask user with the help of scanner to enter two numbers, right? Once user is entering the number, what we will do is, which stream we will use? Input stream or output stream?
Output is
Output.
Yeah, help of output stream, you will send the data, right? Now, what server will do? What will happen at the server side? Server will have server socket, right? As well, server will have socket class object. Then server will use accept method to accept the connection, right? Once connection is accepted, server has to read the numbers coming from client. How server will read it? These two numbers which are coming from the client side, server has to read it. How server will read it?
Input is
After accepting. Sorry?
Input stream.
Exactly.
Input
So with the
stream.
help of once it is sent, we will use input stream to read it. Now, through the input stream, to read this, to write, we can use write UTF or we can use write INT. Both are okay. If you are using the write UTF at the server side, you have to do typecasting. After using the read UTF, you need to convert it into integer. Or you can go with the write INT, write float, write double. These are the direct method to write your numbers over the data stream. Now, what input stream will do? It will read. Over here, we are using the write operation, right? And at the server side, right? At the server side, we use input stream to read the data of coming from client, right? Now, what we will do over here is we'll apply the simple mathematics. We'll say answer is equal to number 1 plus number 2. And over here, number 1 and number 2 are read from the server side. Sorry, client side. These are the input coming from client side. Now you have answer in your answer variable. What you will do? what you will do? Again, you need to create an output stream because you want to send the data, right? And how you will send the data? With the help of write function. So you have to write to the network. Once you are writing, as you are already connected, server side, we have to create input stream. We have to create input stream, right? And we are going to read the data. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely we will close both the sides. We'll close the input stream, we'll close the output stream, we will close the socket, we will close the server socket. Is the pseudo code clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Clear.
So now we will see the demo of the program. So see, usually this way you can go make a folder AJP, and if you are going with the client server programs, make a folder. This is folder add, and inside that I have kept two programs, client side and the server side. So let us see what is there in my client side program. I have taken IO, NAT and scanner, 3 import. This is class client side having the main method. We are doing try catch because at time if we are failing to make connection with the server, we may have the exception. So we are printing it with the help of the catch block. We said exception system.out.println. Let us say if we are not able to connect, we'll say problem in connection, right? And we are printing some message. Now you see what we are doing over here. We have created a socket, which was the, let me open it like this, I guess, then you will be see both the things together. Oh no, it will mix it. Fine. Okay, you just see socket, object creation, and all such points which we have discussed. So here it is. You created a socket, right? For the local host. So this is local host is the server's IP or host name, right? Created the data output stream because we want to send the data to the server. We created a scanner class object because we need to read from the keyboard, right? And this is, you see, get inputs, get output stream with the help of the, because we want to write over this socket, right? This socket of the server. So that's why data output stream object d out equal to new data output stream. We are writing socket object dot get output stream. Once it is returned, you are creating a scanner class object. You wrote scanner SS is equal to new scanner. You said system.in. It means that you are taking input from the keyboard. Now, what I'm doing is I have taken input in the string because I'm using the UTF format to write the data, right? So that's why we wrote system.out.println and enter number 1, taken string 1, string S1 is equal to SS dot. So this is scanner class object, SS dot next line. So it is accepting the string. So we said whatever string user has entered, suppose user has entered 1414, right? So we said d out dot write UTF, write it to the output stream object. And what is with the help of output stream object where you are writing is, you are writing to socket object. And what is socket object? So socket object is taking your data to the IP or host name, local host, which is a server name over the port 6787, right? Once you are done with the writing, you can close it. So we said dout.flush. You are just cleaning the object because you want to take the second object, second value to write over the network stream. That's why whatever is the old value, that is the first number which you have taken from the user, You are cleaning the stream. So we know that flush means clean out, right? So what you have to do is you have to use dout.flush. It will clear your output stream. Now your output stream is empty. So you can take second number from the user, system.out.println, and enter second number, right? Enter second number. And you can use string s2. You said ss dot next line. So using the scanner object, you are taking from keyboard. You say dout dot write UTF. As we have flushed the dout, there is no data. It has already sent to network. So now we are using dout again, and we are writing the second data. That is the second number. Fine. And finally, again, we are doing dout dot flush. Okay. Now, after this point, your data has went to the server. And server side, the calculation and everything will happen, and server will use again that server side data output stream, and with the help of write UTF, it will write to the client. So whatever is coming to client has to read it with the help of data input stream. With the help of data input stream. So we say data input stream DIN equal to new data input stream, and we said as dot get input stream. Right? Right? So once we created the data input stream object, we can take an integer. I have written a whole integer. So it's an wrapper class object. We said integer result is equal to bin dot read int. You see over here, directly I am reading the integer value. I'm not reading the UTF. In previous example, we said read UTF because we wanted to treat it as a string. But now we want to treat the answer as an integer only. That's why we are using wrapper class integer, created an object result. We said equal to bin.read int, read integer. Fine. And finally, we are displaying the. Yes, Sakshi. And finally, we are reading the result, displaying the result, system.out.println. We close everything. Socket is closed, output stream is closed, scanner class object is closed, and input stream is closed. Fine. Now let us look at the server side. So server side, we have taken IO and net import. We said public class server side. Taken a main method inside try catch block. We are creating a server socket. Mind well, the port number should be same because your client is trying to contact the server on the port number 6787. So server has to accept the connection on the same port. That's why we say the socket object as is equal to ss.accept. It means that incoming request of the client will be accepted on the port number 6787. Now we are reading, we said data input stream, and we said din is equal to new data input stream as dot get input stream. So whatever is coming on the socket, right? Socket as we are getting it inside the din object. Fine. So we have taken two strings, string s1 and s2, which is reading both the string coming over the input stream of the server. So we say din.read UTF, and we are doing the typecasting because the data is in UTF format and we want to make it as a string. Fine. Now this S1 and S2, we want to perform addition, and that's why it need to be integer. So we are taking the steps further and we are parsing it. So we said integer number 1 is equal to integer.parse int. In argument, we gave a string variable. So S1 was a string before the highlighted lines. And now with the help of integer.parse int, we are converting string into integer. And that's why it is possible to apply arithmetic operation. Integer number 3 is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Fine. Now, whatever is the answer, it is here. So what you can do is, you can write it back to the client. So write it back to the client. We are writing data output stream D out, new data output stream on the socket because socket is representing the connection established with the client. So on the 6787 port of the client, you are sending the data. So you say get output stream, and you see now we are directly writing write int. So what it will do? It will just write the integer over the output stream. And ultimately, we are closing and flushing everything. We flush the out object and we close server socket, data input stream and data output stream. Is it clear? Is it
Yes,
clear? Any doubt, any question?
Doubt, ma'am.
Okay. So now let me run this.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Can you provide us this program, ma'am, for better understanding after this class?
I'll provide all the programs for the better understanding, but I suggest that if you are interested in learning whatever is going on, go to Java T-Point or go to tutorialspoint.com, click on Java, you'll find entire Java learning link. I suggest those who are not clear with certain basics, for loop, each loop, or OPS concept or whatsoever, you can array, everything you can learn. Here the examples are given in a nice manner. And if you want to go with the networking, click here and whatever we are discussing. You see in lab, we have discussed about the INET class. So you can find it over here, INET class, right? Right now we are talking about socket programming, right? So you will find that server socket and everything. You see the diagram, what I have shown to you, right? So you can use this link. So I'm doing one thing. I'm giving you this in the chat, and everybody, you can refer this. Okay. Am I audible, guys?
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, my chat is not going. That's why I was like, whether I'm audible or not. So it is very simple, guys. Just type www.javateapoint.com/java-networking. Java-networking, and it will allow you to go ahead with that. Fine? Fine? Okay. My send button is freeze, so just do it. And otherwise you can ping me in personal. I'll just send you the link. Fine. So we are talking about client server program of addition. So I need two screens, two output screens or command prompt, because I have to work with client and server both. Fine. So let me open two different windows. Now I will compile client side program. So I have to write Java C client side, and I'll compile just a second. It's a client side only. Why it is not taking? Oh, I forgot T. I've done typing mistake, so I have to just go with T client side dot Java. Fine. See, it's compiled successfully. Now I'll go with the server side. So I'll say Java C server side dot Java. And you can see it has also compiled. Now, see, I was telling you that if you are running right now my server is not running. I have just compiled it. Now let me run directly my client side. If I am running client side directly, you see it is giving me the exception. Can you see problem in connection? So problem in connection is our catch block. Do you recall that I changed it? With the default message, instead I changed it and I made it like problem in connection, right? So if your server is not available, somehow if connection is not establishing, that exception will be taken in the catch block, right? And now this is the condition for all Java networking program. Always run the server program first. Okay, always run the server program first. Now you see server is keep on blinking, right? Server is, it will ask you certain permission, just allow the access. Okay, so it is blinking. Now I can run the client side again, and it is asking me enter first number. I said 10. It is asking me enter second number. I said 20. And can you see the answer? The sum of two numbers, 30. Right? Again, problem in connection because we close server side connection, right? So once you are getting the answer, run your server again, right? Once you are getting the client side answer, run your server again. Let us say I'm saying 200 and 500. It's saying answer is 700. And you can see here, new command prompt has came at the client side. There's no blinking. Otherwise, if I am here and if I run a program, you see, it is keep on blinking server side. It is waiting for connection. It is waiting for connection. So once some client, I'm in client window, is executing the program and sending the request, and it is sending the request, soon the request is arriving, your client will accept that. Okay, your client will accept it, right? And now you see, still here server side, the cursor is blinking, it is waiting, right? So when client is pressing the enter, through network, data will go to the server, server will do the calculation and it will give the response, which is being displayed over here, right? And then we have written both the side close. We have written both the side close. That's why your program is not accepting the connection more. It has closed it. Fine? Fine? Is it clear? Any doubt,
Clear,
any
ma'am.
question?
Yes,
Clear.
ma'am.
Okay. So that's it for today. If we talk about what we learn, then we have gone through this discussion. We learned today what is a socket class and methods related to it. We said we have a socket class to establish the connection. It accepts IP address and port number of the server. We learn what is a server socket class and methods related to it, right? So we said accept and close are the method of server socket class, right? Along with that, we learn that data input stream and data output streams are used to have the read and write operation, right? And to have this read and write operation, you can go with read UTF, right? You can go with read INT, you can go with read double, you can go with all the read string, right? And for all this thing, we have the write operation also. So you can go with the write UTF, you can go with the write INT, etc. Now, if you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use read INT, read double and all, then what you can do is you can use read UTF, and then at the client or server side, you can just do the typecasting the way we did in the one of the program, right? At the server side, we did the casting, but from the server side, when we were giving the response, we used write INT. So there was no need to do the typecasting. So this is the learning outcome of today's session. If you have any doubt, you can post me in my personal chat window. You can refer Java T-Point or tutorialspoint.com for the further learning. That's it. See you in the next week. Guys, just learn the things online and come up with the doubts. So if you don't have any doubt, you all can leave.
Ma'am, can we leave
Everybody,
now?
please leave. Yeah, I said no, everyone. I mean, more than 100 students has left already. Everybody leave the meeting and join the next session. Everyone leave the meeting.
Ma'am. Hello, ma'am.